It's been a while. DAO Watch, episode 33. In this episode, we look at Dash and a real tasty set two between two development powerhouses. We look at Tornado Cash, which is another privacy project, this time on Ethereum, and some real exciting foundational developments there. We then move on to Cryptosy DAO, a DAO named after myself, which is brilliant. And finally, we finish with Jupiter, the burning cat itself, Solana's biggest DEX, and these hyper complex proposals that they're giving you 2.5 days to make your mind up over. This is DAO Watch episode 33. It's been a while. I'm glad to be back. I hope you enjoy it. Take it away. Hello and welcome to DAO Watch episode 33. It's been a while, but we are back. Let's go. Today we're going to be looking at Dash as ever. We're going to be looking at Cryptosy DAO. We're also going to be looking at Jupiter on Solana. And our special guest, extremely special guest, will be Tornado Cash on Ethereum and BNB. Tornado Cash had a rise from the ashes moment in the last week or so, where the US appeals court ruled that Tornado Cash is no longer illegal. What Tornado Cash does is it allows you to put in tokens and mix them up in a similar way to how CoinJoin works on Dash, which is a privacy technique that I have been critical of in the past. But you do get results. You don't get 99.9% results, but you probably get, 98.5% results, and it's still well worth it. You're quibbling about small margins with this level of security or privacy through obfuscation or zero knowledge. Those are the two types. But let's not go down that rabbit hole because we're here about the DAO. Tornado Cash, the original developer, I believe, one of them is in prison. I don't know what's happened to the other one. So it's now a community-run project, which means it's going to need a strong DAO. It's a very, very important project as well. Anyway, let's go to the other one. Let's get started. Let's get excited. Let's get hyped. Let's go to Dash. Now, Dash is, for me, now the place to be when it comes to DAOs. It has the oldest DAO, probably the best DAO, and it is encountering the problems and has the resources to solve them. Now, this proposal in particular is very interesting. It's a development-focused proposal. It's extremely technical. It's dev P2P and ZMQ or ZMQ explorers. Now, who the hell knows what that means? This guy, his name is AJ. He does these live streams, which I watch from time to time. I won't say I watch them often, but I watch them from time to time. Generally, I can understand what he's doing. I can follow along with it. So for me, it's a great resource, and I love that he does it. Not very many people watch it, but it's not the type of content which is supposed to get a lot of views. It's supposed to get good views. Now, he's put forward a proposal which is the abstract I like, which he's done. It's to build these necessary JavaScript libraries and Go proxies to bring two protocols to the web. P2P, for CoinJoin governance, block inventory, and ZMQ for notifications on instant send, transactions, proposals, votes, and more. Which I guess is also governance, right? But he's broken this one down into more pieces for probably some good reason. I will also be building web apps for them to show how they can be used, similar to Dash RPC Explorer. Now, these are the type of tools that the average user will not be using. These are the type of tools which developers will be using. Developers will use these tools within their apps so that their apps can get these functionalities. So the proposal does expand, and it is, let's say, complex. He goes through the why. I'm not going to go through the entire proposal because we're just going to get bogged down in technical information that I'm not qualified to pass. I'm not qualified to explain this stuff. All right. Now, the thing I like about this particular proposal is let's go through the pros and cons. All right. Like I say, let's get some parliamentary procedure. Let's go through the pros and cons. So what are the good things and the bad things about this proposal? So with the good things, these sorts of upgrades are much needed. These are the sorts of things that you're going to need so that when developers do come, the stuff is there ready for them to build. They're kind of like, if we think they're like the building blocks to decentralized applications. And let's say they're like a foundation building block. Now, if he's already built them, these developers come in and don't have to do that. So they can save themselves weeks of development by just taking what he's done and integrating it. Now, they also, if you have explorers, they'll allow you to gather information quickly. Anyway, all of that stuff makes development on Dash more accessible, which will do one thing, which is help onboard more developers. More developers means a more vibrant ecosystem. It means more decentralized applications. It means more places for users to land. It means more reasons to pick up Dash, to use this ecosystem, which means higher fees, which means higher price, which means higher number go up. That is the main pro behind this proposal. Now, the way he's written it, I think is about as close to being accessible to non-technical people as he can go without just sprouting vibes. I also like that this guy is closely aligned with Dash Incubator, which has been, and I think currently is the number one route for new developers to get into Dash. So I think it's coming from a guy who is situated socially in the right place for new developers. These incubator guys, they're going to be the ones that are onboarding new developers. He's also an outspoken critic of the current core team. Now, I think that's both a pro and a con. So I've put it in both columns. I think it's a pro because I think it allows you to have an alternate opinion and an alternate point of view from somebody who is qualified to give it. I think sometimes he may go a little bit overboard in his exuberance for the points he wishes to make, sometimes bordering on offensive, sometimes skipping over that border. But this is what you're going to get. And I think if you've got a two-party system within Dash where you've got development happening from Incubator and you've got development happening from Core, and the two don't always get along, I think that's fine. I think as long as you've got mediators and people try to keep it as respectful as possible, they're all generally pushing in the right direction. And this is something that I think maybe should be reminded, not just to AJ, but also to Sam and the core team. We can all get along. We all want the same things. So I think those are generally the pros of this proposal. I think fee-wise, the cost is cheap. I don't know where in the world he's based. And I'm starting to come to the realization that I don't think that should matter. I think the cost should be the cost. And if you can find somebody who knows the code base as well as this man who can do it for cheaper, then cool. But you don't have that. So this is who we've got, and this is what he's asked for. What he has asked for, we can go back to it, is 100 Dash per month for 2 months. That's $3,600 per month. Now, I can tell you straight off the bat that this man walks into any company in his local state, wherever he lives, and he earns 3 times that with his eyes closed. So this is clearly, at this price, is a labor of love. One comment that I did see, which I really liked, was this one from Master Noodle. As a non-technical voter, it's difficult for him to evaluate. And he does go on to say it's difficult for him to evaluate the hours of work responsible for this proposal. This leads me to a bigger problem I think we have within DAOs altogether, is when people put forward proposals, how do you evaluate how much is worth? Now, for me, the trader in me says, you decide what you think it's worth and you pay that for it. So for me, I think this is definitely worth this amount of money to this project. The second thing to back it up is where this man is based. I know he's asking for less than he will get paid. Now, if you're not used to hiring people in this line of work, you will not know that. And I think this is fair. This is where we need a delegation system for certain votes. This is where you need a delegation system so that you can have somebody who is more technically minded, that you trust that their vision for the project matches up with your own, and that they will say which way they're going to vote and why, which is what I do on this show. But they can do that for every single proposal that comes up on their own website, and for that you give them a small percentage of what you earn in your Masternode rewards. Something like that, some sort of delegation system like that is really needed. Doesn't exist. That would help Master Noodle out. He could delegate to me. I could say to him, we should vote for this for 2 reasons. Number 1, the guy's asking for less than I know he can earn any day of the week. Number 2, it's good to have a second opinion. It's good to have somebody that criticizes core team. It's good to not have people who are constantly saying, we believe, we believe, we believe. This is not meme coin territory. This is crypto. Okay, the cons, because I've been talking about Dash for too long. The cons, he does get a bit carried away. Somebody put in here, I think, Pasta. I think this was good, whoever they are. I think this was good that they put in here about this interaction. He did say that he was upset, and you can tell that he's not happy with the way Sam was treated in this call. I didn't see the call myself, but I appreciate that he's left this here. And what it does point to is that we do have a very vocal counter figure to the core team, which I think is a good thing. But as it says here, it does border on becoming unproductive. So we just need to find ways to smooth out that cognitive diversity, which is the one thing I've always said you have to do in DAOs. You're going to have different opinions. You're going to have different ideas from very smart people. This is not a paramilitary organization. There is not a supreme ruler who can make a decision. So we're going to have to smooth out the cognitive diversity. AJ's got to work on it. Sam's got to work on it. We've got to do it. It's what we do in DAOs. I love this, right? Which way am I going to vote? I think the voting time has passed. I think the voting time has passed and it's not been funded. And I didn't vote. I had my eyes elsewhere, so I'd missed this whole voting cycle. I would have definitely voted yes, and I would have loved to have made this video and let the Dash community see it before the vote finished, and maybe push more of those 156 no's to yeses. Even if you are Team Sam, even if you are Team Core, you vote yes for this. Even if you are, because you need to have a contingency and you need to have a 10th man, as they say. You need to have somebody who is going to say something different, and you don't want an echo chamber. That is what will keep Dash and has kept Dash as strong as it has been over the years. So this one's a yes from me. Unfortunately, it didn't pass. Let's hope he comes back and puts in a proposal. If he does, I will make a short video explainer, kind of explaining it in less technical terms. And I'm going to try to keep more on the ball with these proposals, because I feel like I've let this DAO down in this particular scenario. But we move. Let's go on to the big boy. Let's go on to the Tornado Cash. Let's go on to the big one. Tornado Cash is back. I'm happy. This is privacy again. So we had privacy with Dash. We've got privacy again. Here we go. So Tornado Cash is back. Problem you have with Tornado Cash is that it is going to be a full-on DAO. Although the sanctions were proven to be non-legal, that does not mean that they are legal. Or that does not make Tornado Cash legal. I beg your pardon. The sanctions were proven to be non-legal, which does not make Tornado Cash legal. It just means that the sanctions are not legal. We should expect people to start using Tornado Cash more. We should expect places to remove the sanctions that they were putting on Tornado Cash. We should expect relistings and all those sorts of things. But just to be clear, from my understanding of the law, and I am not a lawyer, although I know everything, I would say that what this means, and there's a small nuance, is that Tornado Cash sanctions were not legal. That doesn't mean that Tornado Cash is now suddenly legal. Doesn't mean that. Anyway, we move on. The plan is here to get everybody on the same page, get people talking in the same place. So what they've got is information changes, put it to the vote. This is where we're going to keep our stuff. The website is going to be here at IPFS.io Tornado Cash, which I can open, I believe. Let's open a new window for it. Oh, let's click paste and go. Didn't know that was an option. It's IPFS, which means it can't be taken down. I've got multiple tabs open, so it won't let me open multiple tabs. I like that. Anyway, and finally, they've got the DAO group, which is in Telegram. You can go there and you can chat. Fine. What they need now are forums to expand upon the chat, and they need to have, I guess, working groups. One for social media, one for business development. Those are the two things. Now we want to start getting Tornado Cash into wallets, and we want to start getting Tornado Cash into dApps. That's the next step. Who's going to be in charge of that? How will they be compensated? The token is torn. There is a treasury, and you can ask for stuff by putting in your proposals. The pros and cons. Pros, this is very concise. You know me. I love a nice short proposal. I love when it's nice and concise. I love when I can read the whole thing and understand it in under 2 minutes. I'm a busy boy. I've got 10 projects that I'm really interested in. I can't afford to spend 2 weeks trying to understand what a person is proposing. So for that reason, this one is a yes. That's a good point for me. Moving on, the negatives. I can't really think of any, to be honest with you. It's quite a straightforward proposal. It's quite simple. Some people voted against it. I couldn't really tell you why. Maybe they're not happy that he's not shown who's in charge of the Telegram. He doesn't like it. Oh, they don't want there to be an official voice. Okay. Yeah, I get that. We have that discussion again. This is someone who's new to DAOs. Like, you decide this is what the voting's for, so you decide. So by voting this, you're saying this person gets to officially control the official Telegram. If you want to change that, you vote again. So this is somebody, I guess, new to DAOs, asking one of those questions. Another fraud as previous to mental shitsos who tried to harm others. Yes, need guarantees. So who will be the admin for the new group? This will be the second bad DAO vote after butterfly proposals. There have been no links to the group and the website for almost a year now. Okay. So the questions are the questions. We need to know who this person is. We need to know more about this person. And I think that is acceptable. Even a pseudo anonymous or pseudonymous person, or an anonymous person. No, pseudonymous person. However you say that word. Somebody who we know who they are, but we don't actually know their government name should be putting this proposal forward. And that's why some people have voted against it. I think we're really into the weeds there. I think it's a problem we probably shouldn't worry about. If it goes wrong, you put forward another proposal. I think time for action. And there might not be somebody with that much clout that wants to take this on. Which way am I going to vote? For me, this one's a yes. I haven't voted yet. I can vote because I do own Torn. I bought Torn as soon as I heard the news. So I can vote. I will vote yes. So I'm probably not going to bother because why should I? Actually, no, I will vote yes and I am going to vote yes. I am going to vote yes. I can vote yes. I will vote yes. Let's move on. Next one. We're going to see if we can wrap this next one up nice and quick. We're going to go to Cryptosy DAO. Cryptosy DAO is the greatest DAO in the world. Why? Because it's named after me. And went live a little while ago and had a few proposals in. Most of them have passed. This one has not. So the first liquidity was put out, so you can now buy it on the open market. The first token distribution was given out via Vulcanpad. That went off with a small hitch, but everybody got their tokens. The next move was to add multi-chain fee addresses. So, or one address for the multi-chain. Now, this proposal did not pass because we did not meet quorum. Not enough people voted. Now, what the proposal was for the DAO to have addresses on all of the top networks that it could collect fees from. So, Vulcanpad produces fees, Bidify produces fees, Bidify Mint produces fees, Sunak memes, when complete, will produce fees. Cryptosy Vest, when complete, will produce fees. Cryptosy Lend, when complete, will produce fees. All of these dApps that are going to be created by the Cryptosy DAO will produce fees. Now, chances are we're not going to launch these dApps purely on Arbitrum, where the DAO is located, but we will launch them cross-chain. When the fees get collected, we want to collect them into a multi-sig, which is currently a 1 of 1, and in time will become a 2 of 3 or a 3 of 5 or 5 of 7 and on and on. When the fees reach a certain amount, we will send those fees via a bridge back to home base, the DAO. Any difference from that will have to go for a vote, and that's what this proposal says. Just moves us through to the multi-chain era. The chains that will be supported are BSC, Base, Arbitrum, AVAX, which Avalanche, Polygon, Optimism, Mantle, Blast, Linear, Scroll, Inc. It's all the best EVM chains by total value locked, except for Tron. I think Tron is the notable absentee from that list. Not quite sure why it was left off there. I'm not really sure. Proposal didn't pass. How would I have voted? Pros and cons. My simple proposal takes Cryptosy DAO into the multi-chain era. Can read it in less than a minute. I know it's a brilliant proposal because I wrote it and I know what I'm doing. I am the best. Would I vote yes or no? For me, this one's an easy yes. Need to get more people to vote. Need to reach the quorum, need to see the quorum on that. Hopefully we'll get that next time. Gonna go back to the drawing board, promote the proposal more, speak about it more in the Discord, and try and get people out to vote. Vote was only for 1 week. Maybe I should change that to 2 weeks. And yeah, that one's a yes from me. Hopefully back to the drawing board and we will do it. We'll run it back. Spin the block, as they say. And now for the final one. Jupiter. Okay. Right. Jupiter. Now, Jupiter, I have a love-hate relationship with this. This is one of my go-to projects. I own a fair amount of Jupiter. I've been voting on Jupiter proposals for a while. I've made no secret of the fact that I hate that the proposal's only up for 3 days. This one is even worse because this proposal, when you go to view the full proposal, first of all, it takes you here to the forums and shows you something that is not the full proposal. And then when you decide to click the full proposal, it takes you through to what is actually the full proposal. And you've got about 8 weeks worth of reading time to go through all of this. It's very, very long. Problem I have is it'll probably take someone like me just as long to read this and understand it as it's going to take me as I have a window to vote. So if I was to just pick this up now with 2 hours and 30 left in the voting window, I'm not going to understand it in that time. It's just going to take me too long. I'm not that smart. That's the main con I have of the proposal. So here's what I done. And you can do this. It's kind of risky. It's not really advised, but I used ChatGPT. So I took all of that chat from the proposal and I said to ChatGPT, please summarize it. ChatGPT got busy and it done it for me. I then asked, how exactly will the dupe be given out? So let me explain what the proposal is for. So the proposal basically means that in January or Jupiterary, Jupiter will have another airdrop phase where they give out 700 million tokens to people who have been voting, people who have been using the DEX, people who have been using the perps for trading, for doing longs and shorts, and people who have been using their answer to pump.fund, which is ape or whatever. People who have been using those things will get an airdrop. The airdrop will come in the form of dupe tokens. You stake them, you can vote, or you can unlock them, take another 30 days, same as last time. Normal procedure resumes. Now, how these tokens are being divided up and all of those things, I think should all be in here. If they're not in here, they should be in here. But we've gone through 2 clicks to be just given chit chat, really. The main thing that seems to be reiterated is that they want a 70% supermajority, so everybody needs to vote. But we need a summary of what we're voting for. So this is not a well put together proposal from Meow. I'm not happy with it. It does say what the aims are, but you've got to tell us what we're going to do. Like, what are we doing here? And to find that out, I've got to read this essay. And that's not right. Enough whinging. What do I think of the actual way that they're going to be doing things? These tiers, I like them. Maybe they give more money to the rich or the people who are really pushing through volume, who may not be rich. They may just be doing a lot of trading. For me, it was always going to be a yes. I was lucky enough to be involved enough in Jupiter to know this was coming and know which way I was going to lean before the fact. Again, we don't have delegation, so no one can delegate their votes to me to vote on their behalf. You have to come and learn yourself. I think it's too much to ask. I think the question, much like the Dash one we looked at earlier, I think the question is a bit much to ask the regular voter without a lot more materials and resources to help people make up their mind. Obviously, you can watch DAO Watch and I can help you make up your mind, but I'm just giving you my opinion. What you need is, I don't know, 3 or 4. You need counter opinions. You need people who are going to say, you know what, Cryptosy is an idiot. I don't think you should listen to those people, but they need to exist. For me, this one is a yes. I have voted already. I I don't think they'll get a supermajority first time out. But let's see. I hope they do. I hope they do. I really can't praise these guys enough for the way they have been approaching the tokenomics, the way they've approached the DAO, the time that they've put in. I know I complained about the format of this particular proposal. Anything that is this long should be accompanied by a 3 to 5 minute video where you summarize this, or 1 minute video where you summarize this. There is a Dupe and Juice working group. They should have summarized this into a 1 minute video. That 1 minute video should be on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And we should all be able to see it. It should be here as well. The summary video should be here. So we can just click it, watch the 1 minute summary, and make our minds up. But this one's a yes from me. And I believe that is the fourth and final proposal. DAO Watch episode 33. It's been a while. I've really enjoyed being back. I've enjoyed Dash. I've enjoyed Tornado Cash. I'm very excited to stick my oar in there. Really excited to do that. I have enjoyed CryptosyDAO and I've enjoyed Jupiter. Thank you for watching. If you are a community member of any of the projects which I've discussed, please do like and share. Let's bring DAOs up as we go back into the next bull run. Let's get our DAOs on the map. Let's show people that we know what we're doing and that we are organized and that we have differing opinions on different things. If there's anything that I've said in this episode that you like, please comment in the comment section down below. Retweet this. I now post this on Twitter and I will be posting this on Instagram as well. So share it, like it, make sure you subscribe, share it with your friends. Let's get the word out about your particular project, which I have featured, and let's get people voting and get people more involved. We call it cult labor in meme coin circles. I guess we could still call it cult labor over here. We've got to work for these DAOs. Don't wait for someone else to pump your bags. Let's go and get it. I'm Cryptosy. You are beautiful. I will see you on the next one. DAO Watch episode 33. Peace.